Hello and welcome to Alicia Moose Knitting, where we talk about my knitting, crochet, spinning, and weaving adventures. Today we are not wearing any knitted objects because it was in the mid-80s today. I'm not sure exactly what that is in Celsius. And today I have with me a new co-star. This is my son Daniel. Do you want to wave? All right, so we're starting out today strong with two finished objects. We have the silver lining hat by Kristen Hipsky. It is a hat that's knit similarly to the muscle burrow, where you start at one end, do your increases, knit a big tube, and then do decreases. So last time you saw this, I was here. So I got about 6 more inches done, and then the decreases on the hat. So this will go with my daughter's new winter set. So it is knit from the KC Sock Star in the Pinky Peach Pop colorway. And she has a hat that I wove and mittens. So it'll be a matching set. So just to get you an idea of what it looks like. So you have a nice folded brim, and everything's all double layer except for over the ears. So that is a quadruple layer. So hopefully it'll keep her nice and warm come winter. But like I said, it was in the mid-80s today, so we definitely don't need it right now. My second finished object you guys haven't seen yet, and it is the Caron knit drop stitch tee, knit in the Caron Colorama in the colorway, or Caron Colorama Lacy in the colorway Aloe. So this top was knit from the bottom of the backside, and you went up and over the shoulders and then down. I haven't woven in the ends yet with this yarn. It's kind of a tape construction. So I haven't quite figured out how to weave in the ends yet. And I'm still trying to figure out if I need to do something different with the neck hole because it's a little wide. So I'm trying to decide if we were going to put a crochet chain around it or something to weave it in. For my size, it said you needed 2 skeins, but this is actually what I have left of the second skein. I didn't weigh it, but I think this is about half of it left. So once again, that's kind of the tape construction, so it's a flat yarn. I actually ended up knitting this on a US 11, which is a 7mm needle. It called for a US 10, but for me to get gauge, I had to go up to the US 11. So it's got garter stitch, stockinette stitch, and then it has this drop stitch texture. So hopefully I'll figure out how to weave the ends in soon and what to do about this neckline, and we'll see it on an upcoming episode. The next project that I worked on was my Bienvenidas cardigan by Vera, Sanon. I'm using a red cotton yarn that I got from a thrift store. So I was able to get past the sleeve split and a little bit down the front. So this cardigan has overlapping fronts, top down in one piece. So the front kind of has a gradual slope to it. So as it goes, the fronts will get narrower. So it's an interesting top. It's knit on US 3, which is a 3.25mm. This is a fairly fine yarn. But it's a cotton yarn, and it's going to be a nice staple piece whenever I get it finished. Daniel, do you want to share what you're working on? Oh, you're almost done? Okay, let me know when you get to the end of that row. I'll go ahead and talk about my granny squares. So this is the Red Heart Granny Square all-in-one yarn in the black pop culture. So I was able to complete a few more squares. I'm still having issues with the colors running out. So as you can see, I've almost ran out of black on every single square, but I am up to 1, 2, 3, 7 completed squares. I think this ball of yarn is supposed to make 14 squares, so I'm about halfway done. Oh, and Daniel has finished his row. Do you want to tell us what you're making? Yeah.
I am making fingerless mitts.
Very nice. You're using 2 different colors. So we started out with this color.
I got a little unraveled.
Yeah, that's okay. It happens to the best of us sometimes. So it's a nice different shades of blue and a purple. And what's your other yarn?
It is a purple.
A nice dark purple. So we're going to knit garter stitch rectangles and then seam them together and leave a hole for the thumb. That'll be pretty exciting, won't it? And hopefully you guys can hear all that. So we're doing a garter stitch rectangle and then sewing the 2 sides together and leaving a hole for the thumb. So Daniel picks those up on occasion. They'll get done at some point. So I couldn't help myself this week. And I decided to start a bunch of socks. So I did the trick again where I started a bunch of toes all together on a magic loop. I remembered to take a picture this time, so hopefully my editor will put that in for us now. But the first pair of socks that I'm working on are socks for my husband. And this is in the Patons Kroy Socks FX in the color Clover Colors. So there's some interesting greens and reds and browns. So we'll see how that turns out. So I have, since that comes in 50-gram cakes, I have both toes started for those socks. And then I also started some new socks for Gwendolyn. The first one is some leftover yarn I had. I believe it is the KC Sock Star in the Tutti Fruity Pop. So I just have the toe on this one. But it's some nice, happy, kind of Eastery colors. And then the other yarn, the other sock yarn that I have started is I believe it is the Atlas Happy Feet in the colorway Flowerbed. But looking online just a little bit ago, we don't think that Hobie carries this anymore. So unfortunately, I don't think you can get this color anymore. But it is a fun set of colors. So the last project that I started this week, because I've decided I needed to start all the things, is a tank top called Pretty in Pleats by Andrea Yetman. And for that, I'm using this yarn that I also got at the craft restore. And I thought when I bought it that it was a little bit thicker, but it is extremely fine yarn. So I would say it's even smaller than a fingering weight yarn. For the pattern, they called for a US 3 needle, but I was not able to get gauge on a 3 and the fabric was too holey. So I ended up going down to a US 1, which is a 2.25, and I'm getting 9 stitches to the inch. So I've had to completely go through and change the gauge for the pattern. And it was also supposed to start in ribbing, but instead I'm doing garter stitch at the bottom. So I guess at this point I've mostly completely changed the pattern, but it is a free pattern and I am planning to use the directions for the pleats up at the top. So we have a lot of projects to work on here at this house. Hopefully we'll get some work done on all of them, and I hope to talk to you guys again soon. Thanks for stopping by.
Bye.